Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and I hope today's video goes good. You know how sometimes I have some technical difficulties, but look, my phone is in my hand, and I'm using a different camera to capture the overhead. So let's see how that looks and if it is going through. Um, I do not see my chat. Hold on a second. Let me get my chat going. Do I have a chat? Let me see. I thought it was going. Maybe it's not. All right, I'm going to go to YouTube and just double check to make sure my video is going. If it is, then we're good to go. It does say it's going live. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I thought it was going. Oh, I can hear myself. That's good. That's good. All right, so if you are here, good morning, Christy. If you are here, please give me some hearts, like my video, things like that will always help out things. So, um, but yeah, here I am, and so today I am excited because we're going to talk about artist block and some of the things that can stop me in particular from creating art. And I really don't like that when that happens, especially if I have a commission that's due and I'm just not feeling it. I have no mojo going that day, or I don't even want to go in the office. Well, behind me is a big mess, so that's kind of part of the reason. So I should probably clean that up before doing anything. But that's another way to get artist block, is to just be overwhelmed by a mess in your office, your craft room, your art studio. Or another way of looking at it is that you could be just worried about if it's going to turn out good or not. So that's one of those things that I have a problem with too. So let's see. Today I have my little paintbrushes out. And so we're going to be painting something that I think is really cool and fun and easy to do. I'm going to use this paper today. I bought this off of Amazon. It's a block. No pun intended, right? Block. But the thing is it's sealed on all four sides except for this little section right here where you slide a knife or bone folder or something, and then you can break that seal and get that first page off of there. But it protects all the paper underneath, so it doesn't get color on it. But this one is, I do not even know how to pronounce this. Baha? I do not even know. But this is pure cotton watercolor paper. And I think it's, well, it says 300 gram. I'm not really sure what that is. And if that's 140 pound, I think it is. But could be wrong. I'm not a professional here. So anyways, I do not know why I cannot see my chat. Where's my chat? So maybe I'll just go to the website and see if there's chat going on there. Oh, Beth, I should say. Thank you for joining. I'm so excited. So you can hear me. That is always a good thing. Give me some hearts if you're able to see this really good too. So the fact that I have my phone, I can use it now to create my drawings on the video. So sometimes what I do is I'll look at the picture on my phone and I'll draw it. But I also have an app. Let me see if I can find my app. And it's called DaVinci. So if you're not real good at drawing, this is a great way to, let's see if I can do a good picture here. I did kind of want to draw the mushroom that I had, and I don't know if you noticed my shirt had mushrooms on it. So this says anchor not detected. So you have to kind of have an anchor. So you got to focus on there. And now I can move this image. Can you see what I'm doing? It is kind of hard sometimes to do this live. And normally what I do is, I'm gonna lock that in there. Normally what I do is I draw my pictures first and then I go live, but let's just show you the process. So I'm just doing real quick. This is not a super duper accurate, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm not going for accurate. I'm going for inspiration, and I love the colors in this, and I love all the different things. So look at that. I just did that. So we're going to leave the drawing. So now I have this. Get rid of my anchor. Don't need that anymore. If you guys want to learn how to do DaVinci, you can go on YouTube and look up videos on that. I'm sure other people have better tutorials than I could give you. Oh, my tea is hot. It's hot tea. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to check the chat every once in a while, just to see. Oh, here was a bunch of different photos I found on Pixabay, except for the one on the very right. That's my own photo that I took. And you can tell the difference between my little amateur photos and professional photos. But Pixabay is copyright free, so you can use any of those that you like. I really like that kind of oyster mushroom, I think it's called. But really, it doesn't matter what you do. Definitely can use any photo can inspire you. Your clothes can inspire you. Just watching other artists online can inspire you, but don't get too sucked into that for like too long, because if you do, what can happen is then you just get paralyzed and you do not start. And so I want you guys to not be stuck, and I want you to just start. And sometimes when we start, we'll be very happy, because then it will end up becoming something good. And even if it's not good in your eyes, if you share it with someone and say, hey, what do you think of this? They're probably going to say it looks great. Because really, people aren't too critical. I don't know. In my opinion, they aren't. So now I'm going to look at this, and I have some color here. And I don't know what I'm going to do exactly yet. I'm just kind of putting in some color. And this is like a purpley color that was already on my palette that you can see. So I'm not mixing any color yet. I'm just using what was already there. And just having fun putting some color here and there. And so, you know, sometimes you just got to have fun and not worry about what you're really doing, what you're really painting. Because that's what makes art fun, is that you're not doing it for a certain outcome anyways. You're doing it because you enjoy painting, right? Now see, I can see a little harsh of a line there, and you guys can see the little ring light that's above this. But otherwise, if I turn it at an angle, you can probably see that there's a little bit of a line in between that and that. But this is our first wash anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. And I'm just going to add some color. So next I'm going to get a little bit more of a pretty color in there, which is this kind of dark orange, and I'm mixing it with the blue already. So sometimes you can do stuff like that. And see, I'm just getting more of a brownish tone in there. But I don't want to get too detailed yet. This is not my detailed painting yet. Need some of this burnt umber. Sometimes we get a little stressed out because we're like, what color is that? And our eyes can deceive us. So you want to definitely look at what you're painting. So like in here, I can see there is some green, yellow, and I didn't paint any of that yellow. But what did Marianne just text me? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, she gave me a heart on the text. You gotta give me a heart on YouTube. That's funny. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna we're gonna look at my photos again. So I'm seeing some yellow in there, so I need to get some yellow. Now, is yellow super important to get down in there? Maybe. I'm just gonna put it wherever I want it, to be honest. I might put some green. Look at that, I'm just putting some green in there. So a lot of times when we're stuck and we don't know what to do because we're stuck and we're just not feeling motivated to paint, even though we have to paint for either a commission that we have or we want to make a gift for someone, and what's happening is we're just not having any kind of inspiration. So what I would suggest you do is just get out a blank piece of paper, do a quick search on Pixabay and find something you like on there. Do not spend more than, I would say, don't spend more than a minute looking for a picture, because if you get too many photos in your head, you're going to get overwhelmed. And a lot of times I get overwhelmed, but and then I just shut down, right, and don't do anything. And we don't want that. We want everyone to be able to express themselves and have fun doing so. So right now I'm just kind of getting this down, which it doesn't even look like anything, to be honest, but the first wash never really does look like much to me. I'm always just doing it real light. Can you see that? Kind of a reflection in there. Let's see. Yep. So it's just super light and there's no real details. That's how I start my watercolor, with a wash. And then I like to use this brush just because it's really big and I can get a lot down, or I can do some really fine with that little tip. So it's very versatile to have this one. And this one is from Michaels. There's like a 5-pack beginner watercolor brushes, and it just has a great variety of things. So I like this one. But you can definitely upgrade, which I have, to like these ones, and they have different point sizes. So this is good when you want to start doing the details. So like if I were to start on doing some of the pine cone, see how it's kind of small. And I'm just kind of letting my eye do whatever to get that little shape going. But you can see where it's still wet, it's kind of bleeding in there. But that's okay. So I'm just going to go around the edge of the mushroom. So tell me in the comments if you guys struggle with artist block, and let me know what you think are some ways you can overcome them. If you ever have experienced it, let me know. I do from time to time get it, and like I said, you just need to make yourself go and start painting something. It doesn't have to be for your commission, or if you're an art student and you have like your final pieces due, you do not have to start painting on what's due. You can just start with a fun little a little sketch of something or something else that's interesting to you that you would like. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I may need some gouache because, oh, look at that, that's green. I don't know if I want green, but that's okay. I make that go over here. And see, this is why having a messy palette sometimes is bad. But that's okay. I'm not too concerned. There we go. I like that yellow. And really this yellow would be perfect. But it's still got a lot of that green in there. There we go. That's a brighter yellow. But see how there's some yellow in there? And right now I'm just kind of getting it to be a little bit more saturated with more and more layers. Can you see that? So definitely get some inspiration and start painting. But then after you've done that, what you can do is another thing that helps me to get inspired is music. So if you guys are like me and you like to listen to music, I tend to listen to worship music, and I enjoy bigger brush. So I like to listen to like K-Love Christian radio, and it gets me into a really good mindset that helps me to just kind of relax and just think of the Lord and what He's done for me. And that's another thing that's really cool. Hopefully my dog will not start barking. I see her through the window over there. But I got this little Bible study from The Chosen, and it's for kids, but I just like it because it makes things really simple. And I turned to this page this morning, and that's kind of another sign from God that said this is a good topic to talk about, because as artists we are creating, but God was the original artist and He created everything from nothing. And so what we're doing as artists, we create paintings from nothing. It's like a blank sheet of paper, which can be overwhelming when you have nothing on there and you have to sketch and you have to create some kind of picture that people are gonna like. But this is what God has told us, and this is Ephesians 2:10. In Christ Jesus, God made us new people so that we would do good works. God had planned in advance those good works for us. He had planned for us to live our lives doing them. And that is also something I found on a website today when I was searching scripture about creating. And it says, and I'll have to link this in the description later, but it says creativity draws us closer to God. And so if He created us and God makes perfect things, then we should be able to create perfect things. And maybe we've been taught that there are things in life that aren't perfect, like if you've ever drawn a stick figure and people tease you, that's, the only thing you can do is a stick figure. That's kind of buying into the lie that the devil likes to say, is that we're not good enough at something. But here's the thing. God created us to do great things. And if we are believing the lies, then we're probably going to limit what we can accomplish in life. And I don't want to limit what can be done in my life. So I want to be in agreement with God and say, yes, you created me. And now I can make things because you created me to. And this is one of those things where if you're an artist, you might start looking at your art and go, this does not look good. But remember, art can look like anything. Let me show you what I made. Can I find it? Did I do this last week? I can't remember now when I did this. But this could be considered a hot mess. This could be considered not even art by some people. They might say that I didn't even put any effort into it. But if you know me, you know I spent some time on this one. I put layers and layers, and I did some scripture on here, and I let my paintbrushes do the work and squirted it and stuff like that. So this can be, criticized by people, but I enjoyed making it. I enjoyed the process of basically worshiping God through art with it, and I love it. And I bought some frames on Amazon that have like a gold, and I'm gonna frame a couple of these and put them in my room. I think they'll look really pretty, like in like 2 or 3 of them in a row. So to me, that's not a failure. That's not it's not ugly. It's not something that I would be ashamed to tell anyone I did. Because art can be whatever. Art is the thing that's done after you've created. And so we can keep looking at what we've done in the past, and you're definitely going to improve. So if you're like wanting to do realistic looking stuff and you want to do photorealism with your art, I think just practicing that in general will help you to become better at it. And that's one of those things that you just have to start doing it and doing it every day consistently and practice every day consistently. Let's see. Oh, Beth, thank you for saying thank you. And yes, we are God's masterpiece. So definitely that's how I feel a lot of times when I'm painting. And, I do have that little bit when it's a commission, like, oh, I hope they like it. Because, yeah, they're paying me to paint something for them. It's usually their pet. I have someone has recently asked me to paint a portrait of a person. And I'm going to be honest, that's one of those things where I'll struggle to feel worthy of painting something like that. But I also know that God is with me through the whole process, and He will help me. And He does not leave me nor forsake me, just like the Bible says. So I'm not gonna let it hold me back. I'm gonna be very open to the Lord helping guide my hand and guide my mind to create a portrait that the person will love. All right, so now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paint that blue shadow. And let's see. I think that'll look good right there. And see, I really didn't do a whole lot of detail, did I? I didn't. Oh, Reese, please don't start barking. Alright, I'm going to put some dark under here. And see, I'm just looking at this very briefly. And just kind of adding more and more. The thing about watercolor too that you have to remember is like the layers need to dry. And I could get a little heat tool and start doing that. But right now I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to add right here. That's that stem or branch that fell over. And I'm telling you, just adding those couple little things in there is what's going to make it pop. And just add some little shapes. But again, with painting accurately, I think what we overthink this because people like your art and they like your style when they commission you. So even if it's not 100% accurate, what they were wanting is your style and they like your painting, so they hired you to paint for them. And so that's something that I have to remind myself when maybe I'm not depicting it as accurately as I'd like, but that doesn't mean that the person that commissioned it won't like it. So we have to remember that that's kind of the reason why they picked us, is because they like our style. Let me see if I put this on an angle, if it's a little better. It's kind of hard to tell. I see that little shine in there. But, ooh, see, you can kind of tell that that branch is coming out a little bit better just by adding a little of the shadow on the bottom. So you can see how sometimes just adding a couple little details gets it moving right along. Put some blue over here. And put some blue in there. And I know I go quiet when I'm concentrating. I don't know if you guys do that too, but I definitely can get into the zone when I'm really starting to do stuff. See, I'm going to get this dark area in here. And no one's going to really see this photo, so however I decide to depict it is fine. It's not going to be a side-by-side comparison. And might have to add some more yellow in there. And add some more little triangle shapes up here. It's just kind of making it look a little bit more artsy. Artsy, is that a word? Artsy. Let's see. So I'm not really sure if that branch is coming out from that one. It's kind of hard to tell. But I could zoom in there, but it's kind of blurry. So when the background's a little bit blurry, you don't really need to paint every detail, which is really great. Because I don't always want to paint every single detail. Another technique you can do if you want to kind of add just some interest to your background, but not paint every little thing. So you can add some salt. I always keep some salt right on my table. See this little thing? It's full of salt. I just keep it right there. So you can kind of see where the salt is on there now, but it's going to take a minute for it to dry. I want to start painting some of these twigs in the foreground, so I need to find the color that those are, and it's kind of like a grayish blue. So what I like to mix is my Payne's Gray with, I think it's burnt umber. This might be burnt sienna, so this is burnt umber. So mixing those two together, I get this really pretty grayish blue color, but it's a little more warm than cool, so I like that. So now what I have to do is I have to look at these shapes. So see how these little points here, and over here there's some points, so I have to kind of do that, and I have to wait for this to be more dry, because if I do it too soon, it's gonna just start going all over the place. And if you wanted to, you could just draw those in first and then follow them. I did draw a little bit in there, but as you can see, this is kind of bleeding out. There's some more spots over here I can do. And this brush is really big for me to be doing this with, but that's okay. So you want to leave some spots that are white or the lighter color, and some spots that are pointing places. See, it doesn't have to be exact. We're just getting some random details in here. And as it goes over to the side, I'm probably just going to focus more on not having so much detail. So you know how like a photo has a vignette around it, kind of that look? So we'll probably do that. Hey, good morning, Laura. Just saw you popped on. Give me some likes, like the video if you don't mind. That helps the algorithm, and maybe more people will find me. In fact, you know what's so funny, y'all, and how good God is? A lady came to my watercolor class. She found me on YouTube, and because we live by each other, she was like, I'm gonna contact her. So she did, and she came to one of my classes. She's a sweet, sweet lady. Her name's Betty, which is actually my mama's name too. So she was just a lovely woman to meet, and that's how God uses different things to connect people, you know, and godly people too. And that's what we need. We need to keep meeting with each other. The Bible says don't stop meeting and getting together with each other. And I know it's real easy to get set in our own ways and not venture out, but I think we miss out on a lot of opportunities to be encouraged and to have connections that help us to have a more joyful life, because we are called to have joyful lives. I'm very much about having a joyful life. I enjoy painting, but I do enjoy like getting together with people. I love parties. This brush again might be just a little big to be doing this. That's okay though. And again, I have to keep looking at my reference photo. And see, this is why I love having my phone instead of using my phone to do the painting or do the video, because then I can actually look at it and zoom in and see it. Hey Laura, that's awesome. Thanks. I love it. It is turning out pretty good, y'all. I'm always amazed that a white blank piece of watercolor paper turns into what I'm looking at on my phone. It's just crazy. But it won't be an exact copy. And that's something that I'm okay with. I actually like that it's not an exact copy. I rather it be more of a, I just think it should be more like a work of art. I always like seeing the brush strokes. I like seeing, and you know, there's the back of this paintbrush that I love to use, which is, you know, stuff like this. And you just kind of, you get a lot of really cool technique. Let's see how I'm just doing that. And it just kind of makes those little twiggies. And then a lot of times I just let the Holy Spirit kind of guide me on this, because I don't know if I need it to be exact somewhere. But I just kind of like doing it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of like when I was doing that abstract, just kind of using the back of that. And so now we've got that going. And when we add some of this darker mix, I need to mix a little bit more of that. So now I'm going to just add some here and there, and it's going to do its own thing. It's going to do its own thing. There you go. Now, this pine cone, I wanted to get that a little bit more detailed. So I need a smaller brush probably. I'm kind of following what I've already done on there. And it's a little bit too wet down here to do much. But I'm going to go around this mushroom again. Get that nice edge. Like over here too. And see, this needs to be dark right here. Just put some more little branches up here. And see, you can kind of see what my salt did, but not real great. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. It's kind of hard to see it. But it does look very faint. Let's see, if I add the darker color in there, it would have been probably a little better to have that. But I might just add some right now. Just kind of do my little zigzaggy thing. My zigzaggy thing. So, what about you guys? What are you planning to be painting? Are you going to paint something today? Have you already painted pumpkins yet today? Hey, Adela. Oh, it's afternoon for you, huh? Glad to see you on your channel. Wish you success. Today, mushrooms, and this was a wonderful topic. Yes. And now I'm drawing Paul's latest work. Awesome! You have to post on your channel, Adela. Please do so. It says now you're drawing Paul's latest work. A boat on the channel. Yeah, I saw his video. That was really good. You really liked it. I did too. And then I'll start drawing the red fox. Definitely do the red fox. That was a super easy tutorial that he had. And you know, I was gonna go check his channel to see if he talks anything about writer's block or writer's block artist block, because sometimes he's already got something that he's doing on his channel, and so why reinvent the wheel? But you know, getting different perspectives is good too. All right, so now I'm gonna try and get this a little bit more detailed on this branch. And if you can see, it's gonna come down a little bit and up a little bit. But I really just, this is kind of fun for me, just making these little zigzaggies and lines and stuff. And it just makes it look like it's coming to life, really. Now that's a leaf right there. I gotta be careful not to go. Of course, over here, I'm just gonna make that a little darker too. Give it some contrast there. And sometimes it's good to just get that in there. But yeah, I've been painting some pumpkins. I had some little decorative pumpkins I bought from, I think it was Walmart, actually, to be honest. They had them for like $1 each or something. And it was, they were just cute. And I would love to do some fall leaves too. I think I need to do that. Oops, I must dip this into my salt. I'm going to add some more of my yellow in this area. So I just like that. And then this mushroom has that yellow edge, and there's some yellow under here. Y'all allergic to this weed? I'm sure I have some issues with it, but it's still really pretty. It's funny how like we don't want certain weeds, but they're so pretty. But because they're a weed, we don't like them or value them. Now this green leaf over here has some orange on it, so I may add that orange in now. Because if I don't do it now, it won't get in there. And it's probably around the edges. I like how it blends. I was watching this other artist online, and he's got a lot going on in the country he lives in. There is war going on there, so I've been keeping him in prayer. But he was showing a painting the other day, and I was like, why are you painting that? And it was totally like just a different color than I would have thought to paint it. But then he added some blue on top, and then it turned into like this gorgeous color because of the two mixing. And I was like, how? That's so crazy. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on my phone so I can see this a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is paint the spots. And because the spots are going to be a little different here and there, and the top is definitely brown. That's kind of the cool thing about painting, is that you can go in and add some details and you start to see how it's going to look when it's all done. And just put a little bit of this up here. And is there anything over here? Oh, let's pop right there. All right, so now underneath, to add some darker spots. That just makes those little things turn out really good. And get those little triangular spots for my pine cone. There we go. It's kind of looking like a pine cone. There. And I might add some different little branches through here, twiggies. And this is kind of what I did when I did my little Arctic fox. Did I paint that live? I don't even think I did, but I basically made all these different little zigzaggies. Let's see, is anyone else commenting? Oh, Christy says that she painted in her Bible yesterday. Yay! And I have to prepare for tomorrow's Bible journaling class. I love that you are doing a class on Bible art journaling, because that is what really helped me connect with my Bible and my relationship with God. And so you're teaching others to do that. It's awesome. Adela, I love all your emojis. Emojis are so much fun. Okay, let's see what else I'm going to paint in here. So a lot of these little spots in here I've already kind of started, but I'm going to just kind of accent them more, make them stand out a little bit more. And again, this is just like, you can't really, I don't know, you just can't really paint every detail. If I were to paint every detail in here, I mean, look at that. That would be it. We'd be here forever. So I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to be here for like an hour. In fact, got like 10 more minutes and I'll probably call it good. You know what I'm saying? But look at this. I'm going to just mix some orange in there and just kind of do some little crazy different colors in there, because it's a little different, and that's what adds some excitement to your painting. I like how my little mushrooms turning out. I like that there's shadow on my mushroom. I may go back in with some white. I do have a white gel pen. Always keep these around. You get a 3-pack of these at Michael's for like $5. Literally, there's 3 sizes. They never run out, at least for me. I just lose them, is why I have to keep buying them, because I can never find them. They're somewhere. I have like so many different bags that I use, because I go to the coffee shop, I go to the church and teach classes, so I'm always everywhere. I'm everywhere. Let's see what else we're gonna do in here. I do kind of like this grayish blue color. Make the shadow right there. And maybe some blues in here. I want to kind of push back and make some shadows, because this whole thing is not in the sun. So it kind of looks better when you add some shadow, if that makes sense. And for me, I like to use blues as my shadows. Let's see if there's any other shadows over here. Say this might be more shadow. Definitely like that. And over here. And maybe a little bit right there. Just give a little more detail on my that. And over here, there's more detail too. It is kind of overlapping, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. And do you guys ever use gouache? Because gouache is something that's really nice, and it just sits right on top. So when something finishes, when it's dried, you can add some little dabs of some kind of gouache, and that'll work. I have some white ink that I use too, and this is also something I haven't really tried yet, bleed proof white. But they are they're great if you want to paint some white on top. I'm going to put some green down in there. I think it needs some more green, just to make it look a little more like there's some greenish fallish colors. Just dabbing it here and there. And the cool thing about, here's another thing to remember when you're painting. So like if you you decide, okay, I have this mental block, I can't start painting, but I'm gonna try. And you get into it and you make something like this, and you're like, okay, well, I think I'm done. I don't know what else I can do with this except to wait for it to dry, maybe look at it with fresh eyes tomorrow or in an hour, whenever. What you can do is, let's say you don't really like this corner, you can get a mat and make it so that you don't need to frame the whole painting. So what I like to do is I keep one of these mats on my desk, and it helps me to see, like, do I like that? Do I want it over here more? I mean, we could even get really exciting and like turn it that way. But that totally can make a difference in how you like your painting. So I kind of like that. I like kind of framing it, and doing it, making it smaller than what I painted. So that's always an option to do. Another thing, if you're not real pleased, go ahead and take a photograph. And then what I like to do is zoom in on it, and basically the same thing with the mat, but you're using your phone. So you can edit it, crop it however you want. Because when I go online and post my art, I'm not always posting exactly what I did. So see how I'm just like moving that around? Can you see? And then you can say done. It's like boom. And so looking at it on my phone makes it look a little bit more like some artwork. But I know my pine cone is looking a little sad. And then this part up here So my pine cone and right there. But there's some hope for it. And I think all my gouache is in the other room. So I'm not going to bother doing that, but what I may do is post a picture of it later, and then you guys can check it out. Hey, Maria Gracias from Colombia. No way! I cannot believe I have someone on here from Colombia. That is amazing. I think you are probably, well, I don't know. You're not the farthest, probably. Adela is from Russia with love. I love that. She is like such a encouraging, wonderful Christian, and I love her. But I love all my friends too who totally come on here and support me, and they know my story, that I've been only doing this since I've only been doing this since 2020, and watercolor. I've been an artist, but mostly with the Stampin' Up! And making scrapbooks and greeting cards and things like that. So it's kind of cool that I transitioned into watercolor, and now I can say that I am a watercolor artist. And so I just love that I am able to do this. I thank God for this talent, for this passion. And another thing, I don't want to leave you guys like thinking that there's, foolproof steps to getting out of artist block, but because sometimes you just gotta sit down and scroll or something, watch videos, eat a snack, something like that, and maybe the next day you'll have something that will help you do it. I know with my commissions, I've had days where I'm like, I need to do this commission today, yet I'm not feeling it, and I don't want to do it and push it and it not turn out right. So there's times when maybe I've had to give them a text message and say, hey, I'm going to work on it, and I'll send you a photo as soon as I have something, So just keep in communication with someone, and that should help them to have more confidence too in you as their artist that they've commissioned. So let me see. Oh, Laura Mitten, you are so amazing to say that. I love you, girl. Oh, and Maria, thank you for loving my art. So are y'all artists on here? Do you guys paint too? Because I would love to see it. I know, Laura, you do a lot of wonderful creative things. You've done some earrings lately, which I love, and I wish you would teach a class on that because I would so make some earrings for myself. I would love some turtle earrings, maybe. I don't know. You have like some great little some shapes that you make. What does this say, Laura? Are you saying, I agree, sometime you have to step away for a bit? Yes, definitely. You don't want it to be always, I don't know, you don't want to be always forcing the art, because sometimes that doesn't work out. But if you start with something that is not your commission, just for fun, I know there's like 2 ladies on Instagram that I follow, and they're always doing these short videos, like less than a minute, and they doodle, or they paint circles, or they just do a wash or something. I don't know. They're just always showing something really quick and easy, and that's just something you could follow along with them. You can always go and do a Laura, you do have turtles? Awesome. Yeah, I keep hoping that you will do some kind of class. Our little group of crafters on Thursday at the coffee shop. So y'all, if you don't know, I go to this coffee shop in Robertsdale, Alabama, and that is called Sweet Home Coffee. They are awesome. They're good Christian folks, and they keep expanding because they're growing so much. And one time I went in there and they had like people sitting 2 to a chair because there were just not enough chairs for everybody in there. They have since opened up a new section, and So now it's comfortable again. But I just love how God is growing them and they're expanding. And they're even having a little shop. So we'll have to go check out their shop when we go. But when we go there on Thursdays, like last Thursday, we did a card making kit, and it was the paper pumpkin kit from Stampin' Up. And I get that once a month in my mailbox, and I just open it and share everything, the supplies with people, and we all just create a card together. Sometimes we paint, sometimes we Bible art journal, sometimes we, what else do we do? Some people cross stitch. Some people crochet. So it's just kind of a fun little group that gets together every Thursday. But I hope this has been I hope this has been a helpful video for y'all. I hope that it helps you get out of your comfort zone a little bit and just try to create something, because remember, God created us in His image, and that He has put His essence in each and every one of us. And when we go out into the world and we're, driving or we're going to the store, just remember that each and every person around you has that speck of God in them, and to just remember that He loved the whole world, that He gave His Son and to save us. So all we have to do is believe that and have faith in that, and that's what helps me to just get on here and be making a video, because it's kind of scary putting yourself out there and not really knowing if you're good enough. But I think my little painting turned out not too shabby. I'll probably wait for it to fully dry and then add some of that gouache on there. And then it'll probably be called mixed media instead of watercolor, but that's okay. And but I really do hope you guys get out there and paint today or create today, and be kind to one another today, and just love each other, because that's what I think's our purpose in life, and for me anyways, is to love on all y'all, and I appreciate all the love you give me. So I hope y'all have a blessed day, and remember to go out there and create something.